What's up, YouTube? It's the Big Kahuna back again with another video. And yes, today I gave blood. And yes, I didn't shave as usual. But with all that being said, on to today's video. So, today I wanted to talk about remasters and what I would like to see come from the OG box. And there's one game, well, there's probably more than one game, but this is one game that I would like to see come to the one from the 360. But I don't think it's going to happen because it never really sold well. But it was a freaking fun game. And some people will probably call me a nerd because I think there was a lot of us nerds playing that game. But anyway, the remasters. I understand that there are some games that deserve to get a remaster. Usually it's those games that sold huge numbers. Like the most popular type games are the ones that usually deserve the remasters. The only problem with that is just because it was a huge seller doesn't mean that other people are going to like to see that being remastered or care about it being remastered. Devil May Cry. I didn't give a shit about that, but they remastered it anyway. Now, if they remastered it and said, okay, we're going to remaster this and it's going to cost $20, then, I might even think about it then for $20. But you bringing stuff back $40, $60. Now, wait a minute. Didn't you buy the Master Chief Collection? Yes, I did. That was 4 games, over 100 and some maps. So yeah, $60, fucking worth it. Now, if these companies continue to remaster shit and put like 5 or 4 games on a disc or a download for $60, then yes, I'll probably think that's worth it. But at the same time, I'm getting a little tired of the remasters. Every time I go onto my tablet, go onto these Facebooks, somebody is posting, this game is getting a remaster. That game is getting a remaster. That game is getting a remaster. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? First it was nothing but indies, sprinkle of exclusives here and there, and I do mean for both systems. And indies, nothing wrong with indies. I play indies, but if you look on my one, you hardly see any indies on there. You're gonna mostly see exclusives or multiplats. That's what you're gonna see. But like I said, once again, I said I don't have a problem with the whole indie thing because some of the Sony guys blow it out proportion. Like, you guys hate indies. No, you guys don't listen. We've said we don't hate indies. We're just not going to buy a $400, $500, $600 or whatever $100 console to play a system that has mostly indies. That's what we're saying. Now, there are some people out there that flat out said we hate indies. And that's on them. They might actually hate indies. But when people say that, you say they're damage controlling. But to be honest, some of them will be damage controlling. Because like I said before, some of those damage controllers was like, Warframe, oh, that's crap. That's shit. And next thing you know, I go on my list and see Warframe. I mean, I hardly ever see that now. But, there's certain people on my list that I seen playing Warframe and before on Facebook was like, that's some bullshit. I don't want that shit. Sony can keep that. But anyway, moving on. So, like I said, certain games deserve to be remastered, but not every freaking game. Question to all the gamers out there. What if Microsoft and Sony said, hey, I got an idea how we can save money and get more profit? Yeah, what are we going to do? How about let's go to last gen, take all the shit that they had on those platforms and just put some shellac on it, clear coat, spit shine, whatever you want to call it, throw 30 more frames on there or whatever, and say, here you go. How many of you guys, whether you be on the PS4 or the XB1, will be sitting back going, hey, that's what I'm talking about, yeah. How many people would be doing that? Or would you be sitting over here going, what the fuck? I didn't pay all this money just to play games from last generation. Let me know down below. For real, how many people would be happy if they was just remastering everything, just putting a clear coat on it and more frames per second? How many? Be honest. I would be pissed. I want some new shit. Um, you know, if they have what? God of War 3 or God of War Ascension, now that's something I would buy because I didn't get that last generation when I had a PS3. So if they come out with that, because I heard that's going to be a remaster too, I would actually jump on that on the PS4. And the fact that it's got multiplayer and it's single player, and it's even if it's going to be $60, yes, I would jump on that because once again, I didn't have it last generation, but I had God of War 3 last generation. Would not jump on that. No, sir. So, but moving on. So answer that question down below. But let's go with the stuff that I would love to see from the OG box. And there's one game that I can think of on the 360 right now. Of course, if I sat back and thought of some more stuff, maybe I'll make another video talking about that. But these are the games that I'm talking about right now. So this is a game that a lot of people probably don't even know about. But if I'm saying it, go onto YouTube, punch this in, and you'll see it. First to Fight was based off of the Marine Corps. It's a first-person shooter, had beautiful graphics. I mean, those graphics was top-notch on the OG box. And the gameplay was top-notch too. The multiplayer was fun. That's all I did was that multiplayer. And I did play the single player. And the one thing I loved about the single player is it was one of those games where, of course, you point your reticle and you hit the button and your team will go there. On this one, you hit the reticle, you point at the person you want to go somewhere, and you send them to wherever. So if I want somebody to protect my right flank, I send that person there. If I want somebody to protect the middle or behind me, I can send that person there. If I want to send somebody to my left flank, I can send somebody there. Or I can send two people to the same spot or one person to another spot. So you could individually make a person go to where you want to go, or you can send two, or you can send the whole team. Whereas most shooters at that time, you point, the whole team would go there. I loved that game. I would love to see that being remastered over or brung over to the one. There's this army game. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was an exclusive, just like First to Fight. And they claimed that they was using it to train the actual army. It was kind of like an RTS, and you would point somewhere, click, or not click, but hit the button, and the team would go there. If there was, tangos, enemies, insurgents, or whatever, then you could tell them to fire or not to fire, but you couldn't aim at the people for them to fire. They would do that themselves. The only thing that you could really aim and do is toss grenades. I hate those type of games. But when I got a demo of that game and played it, I was instantly in love with that game. I played the little dog shit out of that game. Then, of course, I've heard a lot of XP1 guys say this, brute force. Enough said. Love that game. They need to bring that over. Um, this is a multi-plat that was on all the systems. Jedi Academy. That game was by far one of the funnest games back then. Um, every time you would pick your loadout before you would go into battle, you pick what force power you want, whether it be the super speed, jumping high, force push, pull, choke. What else did they have? Lightning. There was all kinds of stuff you could choose, and then of course you would fight with the swords against the other team. There was capture the flag, and I can't remember what the other modes, but that game was fun. I hope they bring that over. I'm sure it probably won't happen, but I would love to see that game come back. Now, for the 360, and people are going to go, what? That game? Um, but shout out to Worry Ward. He'll know that game was the shit. Star Trek. I would love to see them put some new visuals on that, bring that to the one. That multiplayer, even the single player was good, but that multiplayer was so fun. The way you could, direct all your power to your shields, or you could fix whatever damage you was taking on, or put more power to your weapons, the engines, all types of things. And then when you were fighting against your enemy, you could target their warp core, or target their weapons, or target propulsion. It was just like almost playing with the TV show. But anyway, so those are some of the games that I would love to come over to the one. No, most of them probably are never going to happen, but it's just my wish list. So, as I always say, fanboys don't love their favorite system. They just hate yours. Peace out.